Okay, so it was a bit confusing for me with Edér's behavior towards this young man, Bearn. I thought for a bit that maybe he was Edér's son, but he didn't want to admit it. I took him aside after we left Hasongo, where we last spoke to Bearn, and I asked him again. He told me truthfully that he wasn't his son, but I have the strong impression that he did really love Bearn's mother. Well, it's sad that she died. I don't know what would have happened if she was still alive and Edér and her met here. I'm a little sad for the man. His letdown was palpable. I only wish the best for my good friend Edér. I hope he'll find happiness with someone else then. Lost love, especially by the time of your middle or even later years, can make one sit back and reflect on your life, and make you second-guess decisions you made back then. I think this is one of those cases. Now as to this much more disturbing information that Eothas has devoted followers out here in the Deadfire, who will give their lives to protect him, is quite unsettling for me. It was one thing when it was just worrying about Eothas, but Eothas with quite possibly a fleet defending him and escorting him throughout the Deadfire, that's quite another. If we come across these people, I will do what needs to be done and stop them, even if it means crossing lines of morality. These people cannot go on and do this. I'll just end up fighting them before I can even get to Eothas, and that I won't tolerate. We are talking about saving the world, and increasingly it seems that it is Eothas who plans on ending it. We're gonna go back in the Wild Mare. That's where, there's this woman in there that was searching for a man we found. Older elf male was his name. Let's return to Khan. He was looking for Oswald, and he said he had owed her 5,000 coppers. I was gonna get 2,000 out of that, but Oswald doesn't have a copper on him. There she is, Khan.
Don't you have a temple to find?
I found Oswald.
And? Where is he? Did you get my money?
Funny thing about Oswald's flat broke. Not a copper to his name.
That twisty old pig licker. I should have known.
She slams her fist on the table. The utensils jump. She looks away quickly, tears just budding on her eyelashes, and dashes them away with a shuddering sigh. After the brief storm of emotion has passed, she steadies herself and turns hard eyes on me.
Gods, but I'm dead tired of this wretched archipelago.
She exhales a deep sigh.
So, if you don't mind, I'll be taking my leave. May Wild's Legion of Creepy Eyes watch your back and all that.
Khan gives me a curt nod and finishes the remainder of her drink with a gulp. She hustles out the tavern without so much as a wave goodbye. Yeah, that didn't go too well now, did it? I think she was really relying on that copper. Oh well. Okay, let's go to the Sacred Stair. So we've actually collected quite a bit of coin from selling all the booty we've captured from the ships. 29,000. In total now, more than doubled.
Hello.
Hello there.
Well, then, questions?
Do you remember you were telling me you were going to teach me what you learned in your research?
I've told you of my troubles. I suppose it's the least I can do. Settle in now. I've got a lecture prepared for just this occasion. Of course, it will cost you 3,000 copper.
Here, enhance my alchemy and religion by partaking in his lecture. Here you are.
Ah, lovely.
3,000 copper. He demonstrates several techniques for splinting and suturing a wound. Once he's sure I've got it, he runs me through a diagram depicting the sundry herbs indigenous to the Deadfire and their various healing applications. Finally, he goes on at some length about the nature of faith and scientific inquiry. When he's certain I've learned all I can, he claps me on the shoulder and sends me away with a smile and a gentle admonishment to study more. Yes, I learned a lot from that man. There's another man that was willing to teach me something in by the palace. Serpent Stair, is it? So let's go to the Temple of Eothas. I'd like to see and perhaps confront this person that's actually... Well, this is a temple of Gone. Is there a temple of Eothas here? I don't think that there is. Magran? Bareth? Soul Seers, Soul Seers. Well, what did I write then? Okay, so... Bearn referred us to a woman named Agni in the Temple of Gone in Neketaka, who recruits new members to the Lighted Path. Okay, so I thought he had actually said Temple of Eothas at first, did he not? It confused me. One can argue it's the same thing. Technically, they are the same thing. Well, I know that person. Who's this person? Hello? I wish I could have gone with the Vanguard. You wouldn't be Agni, would you? This woman's unceasing smile and direct, violating gaze give the strong impression of someone selling something.
Light of Eothas be upon you.
Bearn said that you could tell us about the Partisans of the Lighted Path.
Your friend guided you truly. Gedarian Bosch has honored me with the duty of helping his message reach all of the faithful. We answer the Shining God's call. He shows us the way and we march in his wake. Already the Vanguard prepares to make its journey, with more soon to follow.
Who are the Vanguard?
Gedarian Bosch leads the Vanguard. They are the most righteous of the Partisans. They will be the first to join the ranks of Eothas, the first to charge at his call.
Okay. Edér leans in toward me.
Bearn said something about the Vanguard. You don't think he's that dumb, do you?
I think Bearn is kind of dumb. Agni's eyes shift momentarily to Edér and then back to me. She says nothing, merely re-raising her smile. Your journey sounds dangerous.
The Shining God demands total commitment from his followers. What good is a soldier who is not willing to make the ultimate sacrifice for her cause?
It's kind of the point of being a soldier.
To walk the lighted path, one must be willing to never turn back.
So, how would you join up with Eothas? Chase him in a boat?
Yes, in fact. We will follow him along the lighted path.
Oh, you telling me there's going to be a lot of ships. I might have to fight before I even get to Eothas.
When the time is right, he will welcome our souls into his legion. Gedarian Bosch has seen it.
Well, that much I can believe.
Just your souls, then? Not your bodies?
Do you have a list of people in the Vanguard? We want to see if our friend is among them.
The Vanguard know their own, and Gedarian Bosch knows them. Beyond that, we keep such information private.
Edér turns his head away to hide a look of exasperation, but then it shifts. His eyes suddenly hopeful. He looks back at Agni.
If they know their own, what do you think they'd say to a couple new members? Can we be in the Vanguard too?
I'm afraid you cannot. The Vanguard is reserved for the most faithful among us. You have not even joined the Partisans.
That I have only just learned of the Partisans is circumstance, not a measure of faith.
How right you are. Forgive me. I did not mean to cast doubt on your character. Unfortunately, even if I were to initiate you right now into our order, it would be too late to join the Vanguard.
Oh, I see.
Their ship is docked right now in Neketaka, and set to depart at any moment.
Edér looks at me with wide eyes.
You think he could be on it? If he left right after we did, we gotta go.
I don't know how this is going to turn out to be good, Edér, but
They
I'm with
won't
you.
take you, but there will be more ships to follow.
I'm actually thinking more sabotaging this one.
Stay and learn about the Partisans of the Lighted Path, and I'll see that there is room for you.
That's a real nice offer. We'll think about it and get back to you.
Alright, farewell. Agni nods, her expression no different than it was when I arrived. Well, they have to be in Queensburg. I would think. I mean, they could be down at the in the Royal Deadfire Company area. Ship is docked in Neketaka. We have to get there before it departs. But, let's just go back then, I guess. Can always return tomorrow. Queen's Birth. I don't know if they're at the Brass Citadel. I mean, we have to go there. I can't see them being, but what? It's on the way. Sort of. I just have the impression that the Valiant Trading Company seems to just welcome everybody, and the Royal Deadfire Company does not. Has more of their own, doing their own thing out there. Harsh lands for strong people, no? I know we have to come here and hand in a proof of captured our bounty, but there's no ship here. This is the only dock here. So that would mean that we have to go to the other place. But since we're here, let's quickly go find Fleetmaster Wakayo in the Brass Citadel. Fleetmaster's office, so I remember the office. I don't really remember speaking to the Fleetmaster, but I've met so many new people since coming here all those weeks ago. Hey.
My favorite privateer. Clear skies.
Wakayo crosses his arms over his chest. You don't have to worry about a Scylla wave skipper anymore.
Pirates are adept at scattering when threatened. But this makes planting your boot on the neck of a straggler all the sweeter.
Wakayo counts out a bag of coins and presents it with one arm crossed over his chest.
I would keep my privateer busy. You will speak to me when you are ready for work, yes?
Yes, what bounties do you have available?
Your target is Radolf, a Valiant captain and seeker of lost ruins. There is no wicked length he would not go to plunder the dignity of these isles.
Wakayo's fists tighten. Sounds like a good target. I'll take the bounty.
My confidence swells to hear of this, Captain. Radolf commands the galleon Goldbell.
Galleon.
And seeks for ruins east of Neketaka, on the southwestern tip of the Kua-Orakuhu island chain.
Yeah, I don't know about our little ship taking on a galleon. That's quite a big ship. That's the largest Valiant. It can be a warship or it could be a merchant cargo ship, but if they're a pirate, obviously there would be more warship. Our little sloop, we could sail circles around it, but the damage that they can take and unleash, they'll probably have 4 cannons each side. Whereas we just have 2. I was thinking of the Royal Deadfire junk, actually. It's a little bit larger than a galleon. Okay, so let's go Queen's Birth. Take a few hours to get there. Try to stop this ship. Hopefully we'll... I hear someone call out for my attention. Hopefully we'll catch him in time. I'm wandering through the streets when a man approaches me, cutting through the crowd. I've never seen him, but the look in his eyes suggests that he recognizes me. Watcher? Let me through. A meadowfolk man emerges from the crowd, red-faced and wild-haired. He pays no mind to the irritated pedestrians glowering at him. His bright eyes are fixed on me. You are looking fervent as always, Letharn. Shoti juts her chin in brusque greeting. This is Letharn. Isn't he also part of the group that we're going to try to stop on their ship? In response, the missionary puffs out a breath. Edér nods in agreement. Suppose that was a compliment coming from you. Indeed, I strive to follow the light and godliness. Of course it was. I mean, why wouldn't it be? Shoti's words speak to innocence, but her grin is too rough, too wolfish. Then allow me to return the gesture. I'd say you seem darker than usual, Harvester. It shrouds you. All that death and heresy. Reckon I'll hold my tongue from now on, Shoti immediately bristles. Ignoring her hard scowl, Lotharan resettles his gaze on me. You're the one what saw the miracle when Eothas rose at Cadnua. Awe and conviction quiver in his voice. And you must be Lotharan. You left Hasongo just before Eothas arrived. I knew it. Our paths were meant to cross. Our people talk highly of you. It's no wonder Eothas chose you to witness his return. That's why I'm hoping you can help. The tiniest flicker of doubt dances across his face. He banishes it with a deep breath and launches into his tale. I've been having strange dreams, a wheel that spins and spins, an orchard of koiki trees, each grown from the fallen fruit of the last. He scratches at his whiskered chin. Then, the spokes of the wheel break apart. The trees stop growing. Fruit falls and rots until the ground is covered with festering, stinking pulp. Why are you telling me this? He takes a deep breath. In these dreams, I also see you, at the center of the wheel, in the middle of the orchard. You were there when Eothas rose, and you seem to follow every place he's been. He works his mouth into a fretful pout as he gets to the crux of his concerns. Eothas has always meant rebirth and redemption. But so much death follows in his wake, both in the Saints' War and now here, again. His wide eyes are full of questions. Heh, is this what I sound like? Edér gives me a guilty grimace. He turns towards Lotharan. Friend, I'd love to buy you a drink if it'd help. He shakes his head, the anxiety mounting behind his eyes. I need to know what this means, please. There are no easy answers. My people followed Eothas to war once. I wonder sometimes if we failed him when we lost, or if we did that the moment we laid hand to blade. Please, you've seen more than anyone. You've got to have some idea of what it all means, and how we make sense of it. I'm gonna have to ponder this. The Dawnstars have survived because of the community they formed. You don't need Eothas for that. Never thought of it that way. Edér seems pleased. Shoti's eyes gleam with a dark amusement. Lotharan nods, letting this sink in. I won't keep you, but you've given me a lot to think about. Thank you. He turns away and allows himself to melt into the crowd. Okay, back to the ship. That person's part of the same sort of group, the Dawnstars, but I guess this group that we're looking for is split off from the Dawnstars, and they're following Eothas. They believe Eothas will lead them to redemption and take their souls when needed, which is kind of insane, if you ask me. Traveling in the slums of Neketaka, when the streets suddenly become barren. What's this now? The cliffs high above block all sight of the stars from the narrow alleys and tunnels of Neketaka's ghettos. The reek of rotten fruit mixes with the noisome scent of dead fish, swaddling me along with 100 other lesser filthy fragrances. My footsteps echo in the darkness, piercing the otherwise silent slums. Feels like we're missing something, like people. Edér scans the empty street. I turn a corner and walk into a plaintive cry. Help! Misshapen shadows mix with low hissing and the skittering of claws on filthy stone to resolve into a pack of Skalder. Their glistening maws float in the black, and cave grubs wriggle about their legs, mandibles snapping as if to mangle the air. On the far side of the creatures, a small girl, dressed in the rags of the Huana, grips a gleaming sword in both hands. She brandishes it wildly at the Skalder, each swing of the blade releasing a howl that keeps the beasts at bay. They creep ever closer to her, however, and her eyes plead with my own. Please! We'll draw the beast's attention. I believe Edér would be the best for that. With a resounding shout, Edér rushes into the fray. The Skalder flinch and turn on my party. They growl hungrily as they charge forward. Alright, maybe I should have told her to get out of here. Okay, let's get in there.
Let's go!
Try to help her. I know she's kind of far. Oh, the girl fell. I do believe that you hurt me there, Edér, or Eloth. Gonna have to wrestle it in. Yeah, I didn't intend for the girl to die. It's unfortunate. She had a decent sword, though. Wonder if it's superior to what I'm using. Griffin's blade. That's a little better than the gladiator sword. It's actually pretty good. Huh. Could replace the gladiator sword with it. Poor girl.
Well, don't see why not.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wrestle it in. Eothas, you hit me with your fireball. That's what happened. Okay, we're trying to get the Queen's Birth.
I don't know how you and the Watchers sleep, carrying all those souls around.
Well, I do sleep better when the Watcher's around. That's for sure.
Does it suddenly feel warm in here to you?
Oh, Loth. Such a prude. Okay, well, we've got to find that ship. Yeah, I suffered a serious burn from that, actually.
We missed it. They're gonna park that thing next to Eothas and slit their own throats.
Pretty much.
I wish they'd gone ahead with it before they got Bearn involved. If we can't catch it, can you promise me we'll go right now?
There, you put me in a bad position. Catch it. Maybe they're out to sea. Maybe we can find them. Okay,
I knew there was something I liked about you.
We'll go out right now and see if we can't find them. But if we don't see the ship, we're gonna have to return. Lighted path ship. There's a bunch of other things I wanted to do here in Neketaka. First time I come here, I don't leave for like 2 weeks. I want to stay here for probably another week from this time. Lighted path ship. Well, we have a fast ship. That's on our side. Where Eothas, I do believe, is way up there. I've got it on my map. Chikawaro, way to the east. I don't know if they'll be sailing with any haste. That's them. That's their ship. They have a sloop like us. I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm not going to try to sink this ship. I mean, the boy was a farmer. Now he's one. A gift from Eothas. Glorious death is our path to him. Well, that's how they want to play it, huh? Okay. Well, I don't see too many on their decks, but you never know. I mean, these fanatics, they can be really tough. Edér? Of course, Eothas, don't hit me this time. I need you to do some damage to them.
Let's go.
I'm surrounded. Pelagina. Yeah, I don't like exactly where I am, but you know what? They're surrounded too. Little tight here on the staircase. Guess their leaders left. That was their leader, I assume. Well, that worked out okay. Let's see if we can't find the boy in here.
Will do.
Take everything that they have. Not the fine plate armor like myself. You know what? Edér could probably use that. We did very good. Despite my burns. Okay. Let's see. Let's go below decks. Who knows? There might be more down there we'll have to fight.
The others have drunk, Bearn. Their souls make their way to Eothas.
What?
This isn't the time for hesitation. It's the time for faith.
Gedarian Bosch, are you?
Come.
Their leader?
Let us show him together.
The man uncorks a vial hanging from his neck filled with a viscous fluid of earthy red. He raises it and waits. With unsteady hands, Bearn uncorks an identical vial hanging from his own neck.
No, 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 kid!
Edér steps forward. His palms are outstretched. Bearn nearly drops the vial. He catches awkward hold of it between his forefingers. His gaze drifts up to Edér. He stares with dull eyes, as if trying to place him.
What is this? You aren't one of my flock. How did you get here?
Edér ignores Bosch, keeping careful eye contact with Bearn.
Lower that. Let's talk.
Bearn waits, the vial now clutched in one hand at chest height. You have doubts about this. You're questioning, just like your mother must have taught.
Your mom knew how to spot a fake. What do you think she'd say about him?
Edér nods towards Bosch.
How could I know? She left me here.
The vial in Bear's hands hovers just above waist height.
What is faith if it isn't tested? These people are willed here by Eothas to challenge you. Make him proud.
I will make him proud.
It sounds almost like a recitation. Edér's mouth is open, but he has no answer. He looks to me, desperation in his eyes. I've seen the evidence of the true nature of the gods. You are wise to question.
Maybe he's not testing faith. Maybe he's testing if you can think for yourself.
But our faith, isn't that what the gods ask of us?
Bearn's hand lowers. It hangs at his right side. The vial is dangling.
Eothas has come just as I said he would. There will be no other chances.
Edér fumes at Bosch, and his hand drifting towards his weapon.
He must be in need to reach out to us.
Effigy's eyes, kid. You think your tiny soul's gonna change his fate?
Edér's right. On the margin, the impact of a single added soul would be infinitesimal.
Right, that's the basic idea.
But he has called for us.
Bearn's expression shifts suddenly. He looks like someone who's been slapped hard across the face. His fingers relax, and the vial clatters to the ground, spattering the deck with what might easily be mistaken for a gruesome bloodstain.
Eothas, forgive me.
Edér takes what sounds like his first breath in a while. His fingers trace over his mouth and beard in a rhythm of reassurance.
As you wish, then. Abandon your god. For betrayal there can be no forgiveness. You will receive not his mercy, but his justice.
All acts can be forgiven by a truly benevolent soul.
Don't you got somewhere you need to be, Bosch? If you're having second thoughts, I can help you follow through.
Not a one.
Bosch smiles and raises his vial towards Edér and Toast. He downs the fluid in a single gulp.
The shining god will light the way.
He barely gets a sentence out before the first spasms rack his frame. A reddish froth bubbles from his lips, and he collapses to the floor, flopping and arching like a netted fish. In one final rigid convulsion, his breath stops, and his body settles heavily on the deck in an unnatural pose.
Think he's alright? He looks a little seasick.
If only he died before he got everybody else involved. Bearn stares silently at Edér and Bosch. Spittle bubbles on the lips of the corpse are still popping.
That would have been me. If I were stronger, it would have been me.
Lucky you weren't stronger then. The gods might have rights to our souls, but they got no right to our lives. Seems to me they'll take from you whatever's not nailed down if you let them.
I could devote my entire life to Eothas, and it would never redeem this.
Edér swallows and tries to say something. In the end, he just nods.
For right now, let's just get you home.
Okay. So, I mean, that worked out well. We can go back to Neketaka. We saved Bearn, stopped a ship that was going to reinforce and support Eothas. Sort of all worked out well in the end.